My name is Rohan, and I studied mechanical engineering, MEng, with the University of Sheffield. I work for British Steel, formerly owned by Tata Steel. They make high-quality steel products, ranging from wire rods to special rail profiles, and they provide largely to construction projects and rail projects. I started off as a graduate engineer when I graduated, and after a year I was promoted to junior engineer. The responsibilities are largely the same, and that is to complete rotations around site until we can find a substantial role. Some of the main responsibilities include completing projects to deadlines, delivering presentations to high senior management to convince them of how to continue with the project, and working with live plant. Because the plant is 24/7, we have to work with live plant constantly. Typical day includes assessing where you are in your project. It can be anything from manufacturing to a major capital expenditure project. You just start off the day with seeing where you are with those jobs, seeing what you can progress, and usually you start off the day with calling people because that's when they're most free. So that's when you start communicating with various departments that are associated with your project. It can be someone you've met or someone you've never met before. It's just a simple matter of picking up the telephone. Then following from that, you got meetings, which could range from high management to within the project team itself, just to discuss where you're at. The best thing about working at British Steel is the sheer amount of professionals that work there. A lot of them have easily 30, 40 years under their belt, and some of them don't even have degrees per se. They've just worked there since they were a technical apprentice, and they've worked their way up through the ranks, and they're so good at what they do. And it's very important for me, at least, or very interesting to me, to learn from these people because they have so much experience, and these are the things you can't pick up from university. So that's the main thing I enjoy. And the other things I enjoy about working there is everyone understands what it's like to be a graduate, so they're very, very helpful. They're always willing to teach you, whether it's something very simple from what tool to use or what program to use. So they're always willing to teach you. The modules I actually found most interesting, well, at least most relevant to what I'm doing now. Management courses, finance and law for engineers was a very important one. I remember doing that in second year, I believe. And quite a lot of what I do involves sending out tenders and quotations and so on. And when they get sent back by the contractor, I'll have to read through it. And without any training or any course from the university from finance and law, I could easily get caught up in all the lingo that they use. And I could easily lose money for the company if I'm not careful. British Steel has a development scheme towards chartership because there's so many chartered engineers there. They have very close ties to IET for electrical engineers and IMechE for mechanical engineers to get us up that rank of chartership, because that's the next step, as any professional engineer will tell you. So in my future, within the next 4 years, I should get my chartership and hopefully progress through the company from there. My advice would be don't underestimate management courses. They're very valuable. When you go for an interview, be very inquisitive. Make sure you understand the job before you apply for it, obviously, but there are some questions that can never be answered unless it's by an engineer. So when you go to an interview, make sure you make use of it. Ask them what their life is about. They'll be quite interested to talk about it. And you'll be surprised at the amount of junctions you can make. You can ask more questions, and then you can give them more about yourself, and then they can learn more about you. That's pretty important to do. And another thing is to make sure you use the career service. I used the career service towards the last 2 years of my life in university, and it was a lot of checking up my CV, brushing up on skills, going for the applications and interview courses online. Those were very useful, and you can download those as well and keep it for future reference. All those are very important, and I think a lot of students miss out on that.